Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin today, and I pass the floor to Stephen, I'd like to add some initial context and framework to today's proceedings. So I've prepared a speech here for you, and as anyone who's enjoyed having discussions with me, it's a dangerous thing for me to be standing up here with a microphone in my hand at this hour of the day with that much coffee. So I'm going to stick to script. Now, in recent times, we've seen an explosion of technology at a rate unprecedented since the Industrial Revolution. The need to meet and manage customer expectations means businesses can no longer operate at the speed of paper and is forcing the move to speed of digital. In boardrooms across the globe, one topic is on every CEO's agenda: disruptive technology. Now, behind me, you will see some of our enterprise clients are heavily focused on improving bottom line performance. These clients come to us for advice on how to be better than they are now to support their continuous improvement initiatives. And today, we intend to provide you some insight into how we supported them along their journey to best practice and what we can do for you. Our disruptive technology, the ESP eSmart platform, ushers in a chance for you to bowl the perfect ball to your own batsman. I'm sorry, but I had to do that because of that. In today's accelerated pace of customer engagements across a broad range of industry, as a business, it's very rare to come across a project that contributes in such a meaningful way, one that touches so many lives in so many different ways. And for us to be involved in a project that has such legacy potential presents an enormous opportunity we at ESP cannot ignore. We are extremely excited and proud to be a part of this journey and are committed to being involved for the long term and hope to form long-lasting, meaningful partnerships with you all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to commence what will surely be the highlight of today's presentation. For those of you in the audience who are unfamiliar with Stephen, let me share with you a small slice of a day in his life. Stephen shares his time between his college responsibilities as business manager, his military obligations as commander of the 2nd Division for the Australian Army. We are truly privileged to have him here with us today. Please join me in welcoming our guest keynote speaker, Mr. Stephen Porter.
And so we come down to the college and how we decided to go electronic. So when Tony arrived 3 years ago at the college, we had a meeting of minds about how we would take the college. We would want to, our future was about going electronic. Our future was going paperless. Our future was forms online. Our future was a data repository that we could get at easily and take away some of the privacy risks that I carry. So for me, what am I about into the future for Marist? I'm about freeing up the funding to provide the headmaster the ability to increase the quality of his teachers. I'm after freeing up the funding to give him the opportunity to decrease his class sizes. And I'm after freeing up the funding and ensuring that I can deliver the services, facilities, infrastructure and IT that underpin the delivery of education. And that is what I must do, and that's where Tony and I are really focused on. So, if we look at the supporting services, then it is in this area that I have a degree of discretion. If I'm going to increase class sizes, I cannot increase the administrative staff, even as the school begins to grow, and we're at 1620 now, going to 1700. Therefore, I must make maximum use of my staff right across the board and maximum use of our systems to get greater efficiency. And if you look at a simple equation, which I like to look at things fairly simply, if we have a capacity, which is the number of people, and it's equally to the teaching staff as well, if you have capacity, the number of people, and you add the agility and a system and training to them, you get a capability increase which you need to deliver outcomes in the college. And that simple equation then is the lens at which I look through what I'm trying to do. We wanted to partner with a company that would deliver better processes for us into the future so that we could truly understand our cost base. Could we really project from the technology and the platforms and the systems we had what the future spend was going to be, what we were committed to in our purchasing areas? And our answer was no. I met Gav and we talked about what he could do, and the impression, as I said in the bottom line, I was interested in a systems approach, and he offered a systems approach. We talked about the real-time issue of cost. Don't deliver me a system that I can't afford. I'm a school, I'm a non-for-profit. Clearly, I'm into the game of teacher quality and increasing teacher numbers to deliver an outcome. So I cannot afford something that is a significant cost. I'll walk away from it. And we had those couple of dances, and they were resolved, and resolved very well. And then we started working through the process, and Gav brought in people to do some analysing of our process, in particular the purchasing way we do business. And it wasn't until I met Gav that I knew that was what I wanted to do, but I really had an ability to have a solution to that. And this went to this issue of dynamic discounting, and if I could pay within 7 days, I get 2% off or 3% off. And we did a quick calculation on the college, and we worked through the issue of if about 50% of our invoices could be paid within 7 days to attract a 3% discount, in addition to all the other discounts, that's an early payment discount, then I could afford another teacher. Now that is of significant interest to me. Tony and I sat down and we had the documents which made some recommendations to us, but what we didn't have was how to go forward. And that's the whole point where ESP is with us now on our journey. How do we go forward? We found that Gav and Lou and the people that they were with brought into the college have engaged our staff. And the other thing I wasn't interested in was someone coming in and putting a boilerplate solution on top of me and saying, this is the way you've got to do it. Because every college and organisation is different. What I wanted was someone to work with us, give us ideas of best practice, but understand our business and how we worked, and implement the system in that regard. This is what we do, how can we improve it? And we have found that process very helpful right across the board. We wanted digital forms. We found that ESP could do those for us, so we have some digital forms now developed. I will be able to, into the future, know where my data is securely, know what I'm trying to do, and be able to abide by some of the compliance and governance. And with our partnership with ESP, we believe we can do that. We think we've partnered with the right firm, with the right organisation to deliver us the capability we need into the future.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to hand you over to Phil Howe. Phil is the General Manager of our Solutions team, and Phil's going to give us an overview, a little bit of a look under the hood, as it were, of the solution.
So our aim is to provide you with a platform that is about consistency of outcome, ease of access, scalability. It needs to be secure. It needs to provide you with known outcomes in known locations over known time frames. Then the platform spreads out on a horizontal level by providing a number of key additional features. So we've got the ability, for example, to capture information and extract information directly off the page, or by way of an electronic input. That may be an email attachment and a number of other mechanisms as well. Steve alluded to the importance of having not only visibility on documents, but also the ability to track, maintain, support, and eventually move those documents out to a resting ground. That life cycle is incredibly important. Well, actually, we can apply these services now to a number of contextual environments within your business. HR being a typical one. How do you provide access to the HR style events, whether it be a forms request, whether it be an expenses requirement? This platform has the innate capability of leveraging that type of outcomes. Wouldn't it be nice to have a streamlined, semi-automated, structured means by which that information that pertains to the students or the staff member is gathered in one central location, and at each point, each juncture, there is information shared with the relevant managerial staff member or indeed IT, so we can onboard the IT requirement. So we have modules that, again, specifically look at those key components.
We come and we understand the problem first. Once we've understood the problem, we document and we get consensus with you. Then you socialize that with your business, and then we come up with the solutions forward that align with your business strategy. What ESP is about is the life cycle of your documents. For your accounts payable people, come in. Good morning, Stephen. You've got 10 things to action today. Real time, I can see where there's a problem, I can manage that problem, I can move on and actually focus on my core job. All right? That's really important because you can get that task out the way, because you know if it doesn't, it's going to get escalated and somebody else is going to phone you and say, why haven't you done it? I'm waiting for this. And you can move on with your day. You have a sunk investment in many, many different tools and applications already within your business. The challenge that you have is probably moving information correctly into all those tools as quickly as possible. So you decide what you think is achievable, and you start putting measures and flags around each of those. Gives you a really good insight as to what's happening within the school. ESP is a solutions partner that's going to try and understand what your pain is. And we map out what the pain points are. We're trying to align it to your strategy. Because at the end of the day, we want to give you that certainty around what you're doing and make sure that your investment is sound.
We really do appreciate you making the effort to be here with us today. We all understand that you've got very busy schedules, and it's a very fun time of year for a lot of you with budgets and board meetings and what have you. So really, thank you all again very, very much. We look forward to seeing you all again and having further discussions with you all soon. Cheers. Thank you.